Greetings, this is Jim Dedman, Sawlogs Plastic Hubs. Welcome to my humble shop, and welcome to the part 2 of this project. I'm going to set this thing down on a bench and give you some explanations of what some things, instead of getting it all in the open. But I will say this project has took a life on of its own. I was bound and damn determined, excuse my language, to get this thing to work the way I wanted it to. So I have it working. It's not working, it wasn't the original plan, but I have a very usable tool that's working on my machine, and I'll demonstrate it. And basically that's what this video is all the rework, or the modifications I made to get this to actually use as a parting tool. With that being said, grab up the easy chair and your cold drink, peek over my shoulder while I try to salvage my goof up. Let's all have a great day. Okay, right here on the table is where we're at today. I got this to work, but as you've seen in the last video, I don't have no luck with these blades. And in my opinion, what the problem is, it's not the relief, but these blades are thin. And for some reason, any flex you get in the system, this blade, this magnifies it. So what we're going to do is we're going to remachine this and make it into use a GT3 style. Let's see if we can get that to work. So we're going to get started. First thing that's critical is I already know where my center height is here, and I've got to get into the mill and mill this for that. Now if you'll notice, the GT3 blade's a lot thicker and the cutting point's different. So my strategy is going to be is I'm going to go over here and we're going to measure the top of the GT3 blade here to the tip of the insert, and then we're going to know how much we got to mill off this top. Then we'll go to the bottom and make it fit. Then we'll see if it clamps. If it doesn't clamp, then we'll make a plate for the front. So this is going to be a little bit extra work. So let's just see what happens. And what I'm going to do is I've got my high stand. And what we're going to do here, I got it out. It's a perfect job for it. And we're just going to let this thing down here. And we're going to call all this 0. Then we're just going to slide, then we're just going to back it off and touch the point of the insert. And we're going to get a number. And that number is going to be looks like to me, let's see, alright, 0, 0, double check this, alright. There we go. So we got 100, and we got 100, and we got somewhere about 175 thousandths. So that's what we need to know. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just mill it. 175 thousandths, half-inch windmill. We're just going to roll right through it. Oh, by the way, I did go down 30 thousandths more. We've got to make it fit the other end too, by the way. So to do that, to ensure that's going to happen, it's important to do it off the top, because remember, we're not wanting to use an adjustment tool for this. So we want this to basically rest and come down just like the other one. And what I've done was measured the blade, and I double checked it. You see me measure my stand, but I did double check to make sure the calipers, and I did put a scribe line on there to get a rough idea too. So with all that being said, I've got like triple checks here. Because we don't want to put an adjustment screw in, that defeats the whole purpose. The reason I'm using a 1/2 inch end mill is just so I can work with it and get down to the oven. Now what I'm going to do is just go in and we'll touch the bottom. We'll figure out how much wider it needs to be. This is how much more it needs to be than what it is. Once I get down closer to the bottom. So this is more of a guess than by gosh, that's what I'm going to say. I'll bring you back. You know, what we've done is we've measured it, measured the blade, and measured the difference. So we're going to make the first cut. If we want this blade, we may have to come back a little like skim paste on this bottom. Normally when you're making something like this, you're working off the middle and the bottom. This particular case, because we're trying to maintain, we already knew where the center line was, and with these GT3 blades that step down below the center and how it's set up, we're having to compensate for it. That was where that 170 thousandths came in at. This should get me close enough the blade will fit. I mean, we're within a couple of, you know, say 5 or 6, 7, 8, 10 thousandths off center line. This should be sufficient for cutoff to work. The biggest thing I'm worried about is will this clamp up. I do still have to get a longer quarter 28 set screw. I got to go out today to the post office, so I may run on down to Hardware and Stanley and get the longer screw. Once I get to all the point, I know this is going to work. I'm not convinced. I may end up having to make a cap for the outside of it. It's what I'm suspecting. So we'll see. If we do, we'll machine a cap for the outside. All right. There we go. See if this blade will slide in there with that. Yeah, that's good. Just a little bit, that's good right there. Let's see how this is going to tighten up, file it, and get it out. All right, there's just not enough flex in it. So I'm going to go back to 1/8 inch end mill, and I'm going to make this thing pretty wide. The whole idea is to get some flex in it so it will clamp up. It just likes a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just take this 1/8 inch end mill and mill this slot all the way down, and that should give us enough flex, hopefully. We're going to mill I'm not milling the full 1/8, but I'm making the slot even wider. So I'm taking like 50 thousandths cuts with this end mill to get down there to it, so we will see. Here we go. That's the last pass, so finishing it up. Hopefully with that bigger groove we'll get enough flex that will tighten up. That's an 1/8 inch end mill, by the way. Now, all I've done was just decide to make it a little bit wider. About 1/2 of an inch. That's a pretty wide groove. That should flex. I don't have enough material on this thing to make a proper cap for the end like I'd like to, so we're just having to kind of, that's an awful wide groove, and I apologize, but again, we're trying to change in the middle of the stream here. I would have built this a lot different if I was going to use a GT3 blade to begin with. Alright folks, there we go. Let's try this again, see what happens. We've blacked everything up. We actually had to put an adjuster on it. So we're going to see now what's going to happen. We're actually going to use the I done faced one off to make sure it works. Worked on the center alignment, but that's the one problem. I missed it when I remachined it. We're running a good little pace. Got a piece of steel in it. I know these inserts work good. The other holder does. There's no doubt in my mind this will work once it clamps up. hardest thing. And that's also, but you'll bust an insert in the heartbeat. See how that comes right off. So, there you go. Now, there it is. Let's go back to the bench and recap everything. Okay, so now we've got this tool working and it's doing what I want it to do like it's supposed to do. Now, like I said earlier, I just have no luck with these blades. And in the last video I made the offer, and I will make the offer again. You're one of my subscribers in the US or Canada, because it's not that much. I can just throw it in a regular envelope, let me mail it to you. I'll give you this blade. What I ended up doing was to use another GTN blade and remachine this. I had to put a lot of a gap in this to get this to clamp. The one thing that I like about this and compared to my other tool is it is closer. So it's a lot closer to the post. So that increases stiffness. You noticed I had to go ahead and add on an adjuster. This hole is drilled too deep. Even with an 1.5 inch screw, I can't get to the bottom. I need about a 2-inch. So I'm gonna have to get a 2-inch and put in it and tighten it up. But it's tight and holding the blade right now. I'm gonna use this one for a while, see how I like it. So this is the kind of how it evolved out in the finish of the project. So I didn't get done what Mark done. I could not get that to work. And I just don't know what it is. I don't know where it's my sharpening technique or the blades, or just the fact that these blades are really weak and they flimsy. And I've had a lot of trouble with GTN 2s, 3s. This might would work with a thicker blade. I thought about ordering the thicker blade and making a new one, but I'm not going to waste no more of my time, money, or your airways. So this is the finished product. And I hope that you will, you know, take this on to paint. You can see all the extra work I done to it. I needed another cut-off tool about like a hole in my head. But I got involved in this project and I wanted to see if I could make it work. So I'm finished. This is the latest one I made, kind of off the idea of Mark Lindquist and also from email conversations with Randy Richard. The problem that I have with these little blades is these blades, to me, part of the biggest problem, what caused a lot of my trouble, you seen in the first video, is the sucker flexes a lot, gives up. That's why I like this type of tool. Now these, both of these have pretty much the same tool in them, pretty much. Both of them comes off of eBay. They're import GT3 blades, nothing really fancy. This here holder is the one I've been using that I just recently, I made a video on this. I made me a one-piece one, replicating the two-piece, and this has worked really well. And this is the one I just finished in this video. This one here, I had to put the adjuster in because when I remachined all this up, I missed my center point just a little bit. Calculations and stuff just wasn't perfect. And it may have been what's part of the problem with the blade. It may have been under center, but it looked and appeared to be on center, so I'm not sure. All I know is this works, this don't. This don't work worth a flying poop. So, here's what we've got. This is basically as thin or thinner than this is a standard tool block. And you'll see, basically, it's the same size as the standard BXA tool block, just a little bit thicker. You see that, and it clamps here from the top of the spring. And this is one of the challenges, is to get this to where it will spring down and mill it. You see how big a gap, I'll bring this up in the camera for you so you can see. You can see how big a gap is up in there that I had to mill to try to get this to spring. This other one, it's got a clamp on the top. It's also got a, but it's also thicker. See how, you can see, and I'll just lay these here side by side. you see how much further that blade is away from your tool post. And anytime this is further away, you creating pressure and it's leaning on that tool post and on your compound and on your slide. So the real genius of doing this is you got it a lot thinner. A couple things I will tell you I would do over if I was actually had in mind to make this block like this. I would have probably made it thicker in this dimension here. And then instead of having these bolts here, I'd have had a plate that fitted to the outside with 4 screws with Allen screws right in here to hold this in like that with pressure. Mill this to fit the sliding fit, so to speak. That'd be if I was actually set out to make it this way on purpose. Obviously I didn't. If you've seen part 1, you know what the real plan was. This is me trying to make something useful out of my time. So I hope you learned something. I hope if you want to make one of these, I'd advise you to do a few things differently, but as I say, my email's always on the channel, and if you want to contact me or make any comments, that's fine. It's not my proudest work, I will tell you that, but I've got one that works. I'm going to use this one for a while and see how I like it, and just actually try it out against this other one, and see how this works for me. And you'll be seeing it videos for a little bit. I'm gonna rest this one and try this one here out. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Greetings, this is Jim. I hope you enjoyed today's video of how I salvaged this tool holder and made it useful. With that all being said, I need to remind you this is a copyrighted production of James Deadman, Saw Logs Plastic Hubs. For your entertainment, enjoyment, and maybe some education. This is education how to fix a screw up. So with all that being said, I'd appreciate it if you open the video up and not a member of my family of subscribers, please subscribe to the channel. The cost is nothing. There's no fallout. There's no emails, robocalls, or any other annoyance for being a subscriber to my channel. Also, comments are always welcome. I get comments of some of my older videos as much as 2 years later, and I still get back with people. I appreciate it. It's one of the advantages of having a smaller channel. I can get to my comments a lot better than some of the larger guys because I have a little more time to deal with it. YouTube is a time-consuming thing if you don't realize it, and that's why we always begging for subscriptions and whatnot, trying to get more people to watch our channels. It's not advantageous to me financially. It's just more of a thing that I'm reaching more people that I can help. With all that being said, I hope you did enjoy my video today. Hope you come on back by the next project. I've got a couple more things in mind. And with all that being said, we will see you on the very next video.